Welcome back to On Cloud B, your favorite podcast. I'm Berthia, and this is
P Killer on the mic.
and we're back with another episode.
That's right. That's right.
I'll let you take over. What's the question for today?
The question for today. It's a good one.
Is it?
It's a real good one.
Okay.
And here it is. Can you date potential?
Can I date potential?
That's right.
Potential what?
A potential partner.
Oh, that's you just asking me.
I mean, absolutely. I think in today's culture, sometimes a lot of people settle for their potential partners as opposed to really going for the type of people that they want and see themselves with long term. And sometimes that can get them in trouble, or even find themselves resenting the person that they're dating or talking to, or end up marrying, So I guess my question is, do you think you can see yourself either dating or marrying a potential?
I think that's a great question. Can I date potential? I think a lot of people date potential. Everyone has potential in them,
Right.
To be better. And that's honestly should always be the goal, to potentially be better than when I first met you. But then we turn the question into, would you enter a relationship on the basis of the potential that this person could achieve? And long story short, I would probably say no. But here's why.
Okay.
Here's why.
Okay.
Like I said earlier, everyone has the potential to be better, right? Mm-hmm. But if you're going into a situation and you're thinking, okay, like I'm talking to this guy, but he's not really what I'm looking for right now. Mm-hmm. But maybe if I teach him how to do this or teach him how to do that, he does have the potential to become the person that I actually would like. Then,
but do you want to find yourself in a situation where you're teaching someone how to be?
That's exactly why I said no. Mm-hmm. No, I wouldn't. Because then you're dating a person that you don't genuinely like.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
You're starting off the relationship already on a bad foot because you don't like this person. You like the idea of them, the idea of what they could be,
right?
Not the person that's standing right in front of you.
Exactly.
And then it also begs the question, right? When, let's say, a man comes into the situation and, he's not financially stable, right? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Let's make the example of a guy that comes into a relationship. He's not really making that much money. He might even be jobless. Mm-hmm. But he tells you that he's working on himself. He has business plans. He has business ideas. He knows he's going to be able to make money down the line. Just trust him. Just trust me. Trust me. I'm going to make it work for us. In that situation, do you think it would change the dynamics a little bit? Would you kind of sit back and be like, okay, fine, like he's not making enough money for all of us, but I truly believe in his potential that if I wait, he'll be able to deliver on the promises that he's making. Does that change the dynamic when it's that sort of potential? Like monetary potential?
It doesn't change a damn thing. Mm-hmm. I don't want a shoulda, coulda, woulda type of person. It's great to have all these ideas that, one day you may be financially, stable, or that you may start a business. I'm not coming for the ride. I'm sorry. Because that's a lot of waiting.
You don't want to come for the ride.
I'm not going for the ride. I want to meet a partner where everything they're saying, they've brought to fruition, where they have all of that already set in stone.
Okay. That's an interesting point you bring up. You don't want to go for the ride. You want to make sure that you come in when everything's settled. He's established.
Yes.
He has his things going for him. And would you say that's because you feel as though you're established?
I knew you were going to say that. And yes, absolutely. So everything I demand from a partner, I also expect that I can bring to the table.
Okay.
So I'm never going to ask a partner to bring something that I know that I can't also bring to the table. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely a give and take situation. I don't want to feel overburdened where I am the sole breadwinner. And I'm just leeching this person along the way, hoping that they are able to get to where, they need to be in life.
So you're not going to be a girl that's going to go through the trenches with them.
I've been that girl, and it never really got me nowhere. So you live and learn from your experiences, and, it's different if the person already has, like, say they have a business idea, right? And they've started it, they have the name set, they have the paperwork's done, and, they're still working on. That's different. Someone who brings up a plan that's probably not even written, and they're just spewing things at you like, well, I see myself doing this and that. And
so you
cut it out.
You would make the distinction between different types of potential?
Yeah.
Like if they show you some sort of action that they're working on something.
Yes, there's going to be some sort of groundwork already set in stone to take off.
Mm-hmm. And where does that stem from? I know you said you have been in that situation and experiences. What about that causes you to have come to this conclusion now? Like, did you find yourself giving out too much to the person? Did you then realize that, it's not worth it just going through the struggle with them and then leaving? Or is your experience just that most people that say they're going to do something don't end up doing it? Would you mind elaborating on what your experience was?
So I almost can tie it to, like, a perfect example for me is almost going house shopping and then coming across a fixer-upper, right? There's definitely potential,
right?
But it's going to require a lot of time, a lot of money. And at the end of the day, you're essentially changing the house completely. And that also kind of speaks to your partner. Even if you make all these changes, at the end of the day, is it like, are you happy with that change? And how long are you willing to invest in that change? You know what I'm saying? So I have been in that position, and it never worked for me. It just didn't work for me. And then I found myself resenting this person because I had poured so much time and energy and finance, all my finances into it, and it just didn't work out. So I personally am not one to want to date someone's potential.
Another important point that just kind of came into my head was, at what point, right, you're dating potential, meaning that you're pretty much, like you said, you're trying to fix this person, or you're just trying to mold them in the person that you want them to become.
Yeah.
At what point does that person no longer become themselves and just become what you want them to become? You know what I mean? Like, if you're in there saying, okay, like, he has potential, but he's not, like say he doesn't know how to dress or something, or his style isn't your style, and then you switch up his style. Okay, now I see his potential. Like, he has potential to be fly, cool. But then you put him in these outfits. Is that who he is?
Exactly. I think I touched on that a little bit. You almost are rebranding the person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's like, is this person even who they want to be?
Exactly.
Are they happy with who you're trying to mold them to be? So that's why I speak to, don't date. And also, like, and I'll use myself as an example. Sometimes I live in this like fairy tale land where I want things a certain way, and it's never going to work that way. You know what I'm saying? So if I want my partner to be a certain way, then I'm going to have to find that partner that's already that way.
Right.
Versus finding someone I think I can mold and change. So what
about
you?
I think that would be the easiest way to start a relationship. Just find somebody that already has the characteristic traits.
Right.
And is in the position of your life that you want them to be, as opposed to finding someone there's just a mismatch between where you guys are in life, and then hoping that he gets to the place that you want him to get in the amount of time that you want him to get there.
Exactly.
In the way that you want him to get there.
Exactly.
I would definitely be more so opposed to dating potential, but I do think that there could be some situations where, hey, I'm not a trenches kind of girl, but
You're not down for the trenches?
but like I've seen examples where it's like, yeah, at one point, the couple wasn't doing too well. And I'll make the specific example of financially, right? Choking on nothing. The couple wasn't doing too well, and they stuck through it, and now they're financially stable. So like, let's say like the woman like left because like she was thinking, yeah, he's doing all these things about this, and he's coming up with this whole new plan about this business, and it's not gonna work out. I'm over it. I'm tired of going through the hardships and stuff. I'm just gonna leave. And then a year later, the guy's doing great. So I'm going to double back and agree with what you said when you said that you would need to see some action.
Yeah.
Taking action into the things that you say you'll potentially will be able to achieve.
Exactly.
If you're just sitting back, smoking a joint saying, no, listen to me. Listen to me. I'm going to come up with the best plan ever. And you don't get up. You don't apply for jobs.
Right.
You don't, you don't show, you don't have anything to show for it. That's where I wouldn't consider that. But I think there are some situations where it's like the guy really can potentially be something, successful. Or, even in like let's say, see, actually, I don't know if I even want to say that because that can kind of be hard. But like character traits wise, right? In a relationship, you should be able to teach someone, how to communicate and how to show you affection, what you consider, your love language and things like that. So I definitely think there are certain aspects of a relationship.
Yeah, things that can be worked on. Definitely.
Yeah, like all the dynamics come together, but overall, for the most part, you shouldn't enter the dating world with the intention of changing anyone. Right, exactly. Like creating this whole new person for yourself. That's a bit absurd.
And going off of what you've said too, but in regards to like growth, at the end of the day, we are all responsible for our own growth. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think we've touched on like, well, I'm going to mold them to be this way. But like, are you molding yourself? Are you changing? Are you putting in the work to be who you say you want to be? You know what I'm saying? And that's very, very important because it helps a lot if the person is actually taking actions to better themselves versus I'm constantly asking them, nagging them to be that person. You know what I'm saying? There's something sexy about a man that pours into himself, that takes accountability, self-reflects and says, okay, I need to change these things to get this result and actually puts in the work for it.
Oh, absolutely. I definitely agree with that. Now, let's take it back a little bit. Have you ever been in a space where you didn't feel as though you had reached your full potential and you still wanted to go around dating? Like, what if someone said, okay, Priscilla's 25 and, she has a degree and everything, but like, she doesn't seem to know exactly like what she wants to do. I'm not going to date her.
Oh yeah, like I'm not. No, that's fair. I'm not gonna sit here and you're not
gonna tell them I'll figure it out. Like we can.
Oh no, and I've done that. It also it's different factors. But I did date someone that was 5 years older than me.
Oh,
right, and they were at a different stage in life than I was, and financially I wasn't where they were. They were ready to settle down, buy a house, all these things that I didn't have or was ready to do. But I almost had to compromise to make them happy, and essentially found myself struggling to kind of make ends meet to meet them where they're at.
To meet their requirements.
Right. Instead of being truthful to myself and saying, this is not going to work because I'm just not there yet. And I cared for them too much to be transparent and honest with them, and that's not fair.
Is there a thing to care about someone so much that you can't be transparent?
I mean, it's human error, right? I mean, yes, you can. You can love someone to the point where you really don't want to lose them, but I guess that's an insecurity or fear, on your part. I'll admit I didn't want to lose this person. So, but at the same time, I was willing to put in the work. I will reiterate that I was willing to put in the work to find the right job, to make as much as I can, to contribute to the relationship. So it's not like I was just at a standstill, like, well, I just hope one day I'll wake up and be able to, meet this person halfway.
Yeah, but it also sounds like it wasn't fair to you. You're out here struggling, trying to meet this person's expectations
I
of
really
you.
appreciate you seeing that perspective.
I mean, that's what it sounds like. It just sounds like it wasn't fair for you to be trying to reach a level that you just weren't. Right. You weren't ready for at the time, which is perfectly fine. But I do think it makes it easier if two people, equal levels, meet each other.
Yes. And
then let's build together.
Can I snap to that? Snap.
Right. Isn't that the easiest way to just build together, as opposed to either finding someone that's way down here as opposed to where you're at, or you being way down here trying to struggle, claw your way up to where they expect you to be. Let's just meet each other, at the same level. And it doesn't even have to do with ages, I don't think. Because someone 25 years old could be ready
to sit it. Absolutely.
To settle down.
But here's the thing, though. Let me throw this at you. What if, because others have argued the case that the heart wants what it wants. So what if you meet somebody that isn't, ready to meet you halfway, but you really, really, really care for this? Again, here's the word care. But really see yourself with this person. Then what?
So then I would have many questions. What is it about this person that you're so drawn to?
Okay, maybe it's their personality. Maybe it's the way they treat you, but financially they're not there yet. Okay,
so then it would be the financial aspect. Then it's up to you. It's up to you to decide how much you're willing to be in the trenches for.
But must it be trenches? Maybe.
I mean, financially, if you're gonna be in the trenches. If it's financial, you're going through the trenches. I mean, it doesn't have to be the trenches, but you're gonna have a struggle. Yeah, you're gonna have a struggle. So it's up to you to determine if this person really is that person for you. Money isn't really everything. So if you really want to go through that struggle and build together, or help him become the man that you think he should be, and you're okay with that, with putting in that investment, then go for it. It's up to you. Everyone has free will. But I personally just think it's easier finding someone that's kind of at the same level as you.
Absolutely.
And then you guys work your way up together. No one's feeling overly pressured to deliver on things that they're not comfortable with doing.
Right.
I had a thought and I kind of lost it.
So I guess we both agree that we wouldn't dating someone's potential is not in the books for us.
I wouldn't say that. I said it's not ideal. Like I said, there are some factors. Like I said, if they are showing action, and let's say they have a business plan and they're working on it, like you made that example.
Right.
I would be open to seeing your potential. If I believe in the business and I see what you're doing, you're putting in work.
For how long? Do you have a time frame? Or is it just like, I'm just going to ride this boat till we get there?
It's hard to say if I have a time frame. It would depend on how much work this person is putting in and what they're getting out of it. If I see that they're just doing busy work, it's really nothing happening, then the time frame might be shorter. If they're genuinely working hard, and in the example of a business, you're going to have ups and downs. So let's say the first one doesn't work out. I'm not going to leave you because your first business didn't work out. So it depends. I wouldn't be able to state a time frame right now, but it would be good to kind of have a general idea as to how long you would be waiting.
You got 48 hours.
48 hours for what? You got 48 hours for what? Tell us.
48 hours to bring your business to fruition. Yeah. I gotta see everything well executed. No, I'm kidding, but it does depend. It definitely depends.
Another thing that I will say plays a factor, right, is if you're dating and like you're younger. You know what I'm saying? Because like say you're in college, and
I think we touched on that with the age.
No, I said age doesn't necessarily matter. But when you guys are both young and you guys are both in college, you're both 20 years old.
Okay.
Do you have a right as a woman to be like, Yeah, he's 21, and like, what is he even doing? Like, he just graduated. He doesn't have his own apartment. I don't have my own apartment, but like, he
Yeah,
doesn't have
well,
his either.
you've answered it. Like, I
you know.
feel like you have no right to judge someone on where they are at life if what it is you want from them you do not have.
Yeah, yeah,
You can't do that.
yeah. There's some women like that though.
Absolutely.
But
Makes no sense to me, but
I think at a young age, then that you should, if you guys are on the same level,
yeah.
don't expect,
Exactly.
don't be expecting things that you can't deliver.
Right, for him to make miracles.
Right. Like, let's think about it. Y'all both in college. What do you both really have? You guys are all potential. You guys only have potential in college. So please, young ladies who are in college, getting out of high school, because that's probably when you should probably start to date seriously. When you're getting out of high school and college, you're not dating seriously in high school. You're a child.
There's a lot of success stories of high school sweethearts.
I would be firm on my opinion that high school sweethearts are the minority.
I wish I would have kept on dating in high school. I think I probably would have found my husband by now.
Interesting. I mean, I think high school sweethearts are the epitome of such a great. Actually, let me not even say that, because how do you even? Once you get to a certain age, like say you've been with your high school sweetheart your entire life.
Yeah.
Would you get curious as to what's out there? You know?
I'm sure people do.
Should you have time to kind of go out and explore a little bit in college and then come back to each other? I feel like that's a conversation for another topic podcast, as well.
Yeah, because then one can argue, is there the one person for you?
Right. But I like the idea, though, of like having a high school sweetheart. It's ideal. You find this person, meet them in high school, don't really have to do anything else. You just live your entire whole life together.
Boring. That's boring.
Oh, now you're saying it's
That's
boring.
Why do you want to tie yourself to one person? That's boring.
No?
Go out there, explore different fruits, try it all, and then make a decision.
Yeah.
I think that's the right way.
Yeah, I agree. So anyway, young ladies out there, I know social media is trying to portray certain things where you should be punching as high as you can. Fine. If you want to punch as high as you can on the ladder, just know, one, you have a lot of competition, and two, take some accountability for yourself, right? If you're 20 years old, you're still living at home, you don't even have a full-time job that can sustain your own self, you can't expect to try and find a man that's making, way more money than you are, or even just like have these crazy high expectations, whether it's money or anything else. You have to take into perspective where you are in life. Where your peers are in life. You can't disqualify your entire generation because they're not making a certain amount of money or don't have the characteristics that you're looking for. Because, look at yourself. Do you have all those things? Let's take some accountability, young women. Okay? Yeah. So sometimes, depending on your age, you might have to date potential, because you're young. Everyone, they're full of potential at that age. But then also make sure that you're looking at the person entirely, right? Make sure they treat you right, they respect you, and know which things that you're willing to work on. Like if somebody's out here punching you and beating you like friggin' Blueface and Krishan, there's no potential for Blueface to stop hitting her, okay?
I'm done. But also to speak to that, gone are those days where men are actually coming in and courting women right out of your mama's home. Right? Like that used to be the norm, where the men, they didn't care if you got a job, whatnot. They saw you, they liked you, they wanted to marry you. They'd come ask your hand and your father, permission to marry you, and that was done. Now, oh no. These men are looking for their equals.
What do you mean by that?
You gotta have as much as he got, sometimes even more. These men want you taking care of them, okay? So I'm gonna just say, don't think you just sit in your house and wait for a man to just come pick you up and marry you. That's not the case whatsoever.
I will agree on the fact that, back in the day, they literally would come scoop you. Like, you didn't even have to go to college. They'd come scoop you up out of your parents' house, straight out of high school, 19, getting married. Yeah, those days, I don't know if they're gone. I like to believe that.
Excommunicated.
That some people are still doing that out there.
Are they? Who?
No one that I know.
Exactly.
No one that I know. But I would hope people are still kind of doing that. But anyway, you made the comment that these men want you to be at the same place that you are and want to take care of you. I don't think it's most of them. I will say
Not
this.
most.
Yeah, I think there is the perception. There is a section of men that truly believe that women are just out to get them for their money.
Rightfully so.
Rightfully so.
There are some women that do be doing that.
There are. But it's becoming an epidemic with these men and their opinions. And,
definitely.
And like, she doesn't pay for half the date, then that means that she don't like you or she just there for the money. Like, I'm not paying $50 for a date. Like, just for a free meal for her. Right, come on, give me a break. So,
I can see both sides of the coin.
Yeah, there are some men that have kind of gone far off that way, but I definitely think there's definitely a large amount of men that definitely will not date you for what you have. And I think I think a good amount of men actually don't really care whether you have all your stuff going on. I think men look at different things as opposed to women. And I think, the high level men, that these women are looking for wouldn't mind a 23-year-old that just got out of college. They don't give a damn. They have their own money. They have their own businesses. Can mold them.
Manipulate them at that
Exactly. And that's another thing to be careful about when you're so young and those are the men that you're looking for.
Exactly.
Think about it. Take some time and think about why they're 36 and you're 21 and they're interested in you.
Exactly.
You gotta think about it. This could be like another thing for another conversation. But just take some time and, just kind of put your arm back and lean back and wonder why this 36-year-old man would be interested in a 21-year-old with no...
You can say it with your chest.
No career, no job, doesn't even have her own place. Let's wonder. No life experience. Take some time and wonder, but I think ideally speaking, to kind of wrap it up, don't go out just dating potential.
Absolutely
find someone that's where you're at in life.
Right.
Either build together or find someone who you're just content with just the way they are. And things in relationship, things are not going to be perfect. I'm bantering at this point because everybody knows this, but things aren't going to be perfect. There's always going to be room for growth, and they should be. But dating them specifically for the potential of what they could be, it's not the ideal way. Because you're not dating in reality at this point. You're dating in your own fantasy world of what they could be.
That's right.
And if that's not the person that you have in front of you, you're in for a rude awakening.
Exactly. Because rarely do these incompatible fixer-uppers, rarely do they work. And let's just stop the cycle.
Yeah. Yeah. So this has been another episode of On Cloud Busy. If you enjoyed the episode, go ahead and pop a comment in there. Would you date for potential? Have you dated for potential? Or are you strictly at, they better meet me at the level I'm at and that's it? Let us know in the comments. Really excited to see what your thoughts are. And subscribe. Like, seriously.
Like, share.
How many times do we have to say subscribe, though?
Every time, I guess.
We've been saying this for a long time.
It rings true.
We're not growing as fast as we need to. Please help support us. Put a like, put a subscribe. We'll see you in the next episode.
Peace.
Peace.